Hey everybody, this is a response to the It's Too Pretty to Use. And this is my paper that I feel like is too pretty to use. I tend to hoard Graphic 45. Yeah, I rarely cut Graphic 45. But for this layout, I decided to go ahead and use Botanical Tea, which is my very, very favorite Graphic 45 paper. So I just went whole hog here. Well, kind of. Anyway, I'm showing you the pieces. I've got watercolor paper there, and that's my photo. And I'm going to start by getting my Graphic 45 stamps out. And I'm going to use the butterfly stamp, and I'm going to use that VersaFine in the dark blue color, Majestic Blue. And I'm just stamping the background all over with those butterflies. And I've sped it up way fast for this part. I don't stamp that fast. So there we go. Yep, the Majestic Blue. All right, and this is a cut that I made on my silhouette, and I actually just did it in heavy cardstock, and I am going to use it as a stencil, and I figure after I'm done using it as a stencil, I can put it on a layout. So I'm going to go ahead and use that flexible molding paste, and I'm going to cover the entire background with that flexible molding paste. And I sped this up way fast too, so that, sorry about my phone there, so that it wouldn't be boring to watch. Ah, my phone is noisy tonight. I'm going to have to turn it down. I'll turn my phone down so that it doesn't do that to us. There we go. And now I'm pulling up the stencil, and you can see where it is. So after the molding paste dried, I pulled out these gelatos in this light blue pink, or this light blue, and then I wanted pink, but I didn't have pink, so I got red and white, and I put those together. And I just start rubbing that randomly around in large blotches. And I didn't know what to expect. I haven't used gelatos very much, and I don't think this was the best choice for this particular thing. The molding paste peeled off large chunks of the gelato, and so there's a lot of pigment on there that didn't need to be on there, and it got really dark, and I didn't like that darkness, so I dabbed it up, and I tried to loosen up those little chunks again, and then I dabbed it up, and I was frustrated because it was still much too dark for what I wanted. It wouldn't match the paper that way. And so I got my Pearl Folk Art metallic pearl paint, and at first I was just going to paint on the top of the areas that were stenciled, just to kind of highlight those areas, because I felt like the gelato sort of made that go away. The texture sort of made the texture fade away. And then I just got crazy with the big brush and kind of dry brushed it, and basically I ended up painting the entire thing with the pearl, and that softened the color a lot, and just, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. You can still see the butterflies in the blue through in places. Anyway, I trimmed it down, and I'm just mounting it on some chocolate chip cardstock from Stampin' Up. And this was hard to glue down because it was sort of thick. It's thick and beautiful, and I had to really kind of rub it to get it glued down. But it eventually glues down. It looks fabulous. And I love the dark border because I really think it helps to emphasize how pretty it is. And then these are just some of the cuts from the 8x8 pad. And I sort of went off of a sketch from Page Maps, but it really diverged. It didn't end up looking much like the original sketch at all. But basically the idea of having a central bar, through the center, and then the photo centered on that. And then this doily in a pale blue cardstock. I cut that with my silhouette as well. And I'm just putting a little of the blue polka dot behind the photo, and then I'm going to mount it on that blue damask, or toile. It's a toile print. That's a photo for my husband and I like 12 years ago. It's a long time ago. It's when our daughter was a baby. And I really love this pale blue doily in the corner that I printed. I think it's really neat. I love my silhouette. It gives me so many choices. And it's so affordable to get new cuts and try new things out. It's great. So I'm just mounting the photo on some foam tape in the center there. And that's one of the cut aparts from the collection, and I did my journaling on that. And it doesn't say much, just says the date and that it was a quick picture that we had taken when we were at my sister's wedding. And I specifically chose the hummingbirds because we had a hummingbird on the top of our wedding cake, a hummingbird cake topper, and so there's a lot of hummingbird. That's one of the things that we collect as sort of a remembrance of our own wedding. So if I see hummingbird images or stamps, I particularly like them. This is a cut that I made with my silhouette that says us. It's really big, and I did a series of embossing powder techniques on it where I used a pearlized embossing powder, 3 layers of that, and then in places I topped it with this sort of crunchy white, and then in other places I used some dark blue glass glitter. It's really pretty in person. Hopefully I'll get some close-up photos of that so you can see how it looks. And now I'm just doing cut aparts to decorate. I definitely need to fix my camera to the wide angle so that you get the full desk. I'm still learning how to use this camera. It's brand new to me. I need to do something about the desk to make it so that I get a better lighting, so the camera focuses better. Trying to get that rose in there, and I end up having to trim it down to get it in there. So those are some of their little mini stamps that are part of the collection. I just love Graphic 45. It really is one of my favorite paper companies. Probably my favorite paper company. It's the one I hoard. And then I'm going to put these little flowers that I made. I cut these little daisy-like things on my silhouette. And first I want to ink the edges to give them a little dark tips. So I'm going to speed that up. I'm using broken china to ink them. I'm going to ink them and glue them, and I speed it way, way up to like 8 times so that it goes really fast for you. See? It's crazy fast, isn't it? Woo! I'm a ninja inker. Anyway, I like little cut flowers. And that's one of the things I love most about my silhouette, is making all these little flower cuts. So then I've got some butterflies that I cut apart from the collection, and I'm just tucking them. I'm trying to get that one to tuck in somewhere that I like. There we go. And another one. Oh, I wanted some foam tape up underneath that one butterfly's wing so it wouldn't collapse. It's kind of hard to see what I'm doing there, I guess. So then I got some bling. Yes, bling from my stash. Bling that nobody uses anymore but me, apparently, because I love this bling. I know flourishes are not popular anymore, but I'm not about following trends. I'm about enjoying what I love. So I had this, and I'd been hoarding it because I loved it, just like I was hoarding the paper. And this layout, this one is special. It's not often that my husband and I get pictures together. So, like, I don't know whether we've, between just the two of us, I don't know if we've had a picture taken of the two of us together since this picture. Certainly not all dressed up like that. And then, of course, I had cut little chunks off of the bling, so I'm using the bling, and I'm cutting up what's left over to put little blings in the center of each of those flowers. Slowly getting all the little blings in the center of each of those flowers. That tool, by the way, is really neat. On one end it has really fine tipped tweezers, and on the other end it has like a little shovel, and you can find it in the bead section at Michael's for not too much money. And the tip on that pair of tweezers is so fine you can pick up the smallest beads with it. It's awesome. And then that little scraper, and not only is it good for picking up beads and little things off your table, but it's good for pulling the die cuts off of your mat, off of your silhouette mat or your Cricut mat. Now I'm getting out some stickles because there just wasn't enough shine on this layout. I mean, seriously, we've got the pearl paint, and we've got the bling, and we've got the pearl embossing powder. You know, you got to go over the top with the bling. So that's what I'm doing there. I'm going over the top because I do love bling. I love it to sparkle. So I put it on all the little flowers, and then I'm even going to go around the outside of that doily. And this layout shines. It truly does. And I think that's it. That is going to be the last touches. And there it is. There's some detail shots. You can see the little corner piece. Oh, you can kind of see how detailed my US die cut is. Those little flowers, the doily, that cluster, the hummingbirds, and that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day.